Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen. I've got my coffee. Let's talk about these books I'm gonna read in the month of February. Happy February, but more importantly, happy Black History Month. Yes, this is one of my favorite months of the year because we get to talk about and celebrate Black history. And although I do this every month and y'all should do this every month, I am definitely appreciative that we have a whole month dedicated to this topic and to my people. So here's your reminder that you should be reading books by Black authors this month and every month. You should be listening to and supporting Black creators. You should be supporting Black businesses this month, all that kind of stuff. If you only do it for 1 month, do it for this month. But you should be doing this every single month of every single year that you are on this earth. But yeah, there's my little happy Black history message. And now we're gonna get into these books that I plan on reading in February. My TBR for the month is not necessarily reading all books by Black authors because I do that every single month, as you should. I read books by Black authors all the time and it's a great time here. But of course, I'll have a lot of those books on my TBR. There are only 2 non-Black authors that are on my TBR this month. And if it's not already obvious enough, one of those non-Black authors is Sarah J. Maas, because her 4th installment of the ACOTAR series, A Court of Silver Flames, is coming out on the 16th, and I'm going to try to get to that book this month as well. And in preparation for the release of A Court of Silver Flames, I will be picking up the 3rd book in ACOTAR, Aqua War, A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is the 3rd book, because I am participating in the A Court Along hosted by Mel over at Mel Reads. And for this month's live show, I'm going to be a guest. So I need to reread Aqua War so I know what the heck went on in this book, as I remember absolutely nothing that happened in this book. And then also we're reading the novella in the series, A Court of Frost and Starlight, which I will probably get as an ebook because I don't really necessarily want to own that book. So I'm gonna just get it as an ebook and read it before the live show, which is going to happen at the end of the month. The only other book on my TBR that is not by a Black author is going to be A City of Glass by Cassie Clare, as I started this book in January and just have never finished it. So I am in the middle of it and want to finish this book up really soon. This is the 3rd book in the Mortal Instruments series. I am reading this series for the first time. All of Cassie Clare's books I hope to get through by the end of 2021. And I think I'm going to read them in publication order. I think in a previous video, I said I was going to just read all 6 of the Mortal Instruments and then read the 3 Infernal Devices books. I just think it makes more sense to read the books in publication order as it's meant to be read in. So after City of Glass, I'm going to dive into the Infernal Devices trilogy, but that'll happen in March, hopefully. The next book I will be tackling in February is a book I included on my most anticipated releases of 2021. It comes out on February 9th, and the book that is for is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. In this book, we are following 16-year-old Dika, who is living in fear and anticipation for the blood ceremony that will make her officially a part of her village. Dika prays that her blood runs red during this blood ceremony, but unfortunately on the day of the blood ceremony, Dika's blood runs gold, which is the color of impurity, and Dika soon fears that she will face a consequence worse than death. A mysterious woman soon appears to Dika and gives her a choice that she can either stay in her village, face a fate worse than death, or she can leave her village and fight for the emperor in an army of girls just like her. These girls are called Lakey, and they are near mortals with rare gifts. Of course, Dika decides to leave her village and fight with her fellow Lakey, where she is soon thrown into the biggest battle of her life. The next book on my February TBR is another new release. It came out in January and a book that I am super excited to get to. And that book is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. First, let's get into this cover. It is super cute. We have a Black girl on the cover. It is a middle grade book too, so we definitely need more covers that look like this for our young readers. It is also blurbed by Angie Thomas and Nick Stone, 2 of my favorite authors, so it's already off to a good start. Jaleesa from Bounded and Bookmark has already read this book, loved this book with her whole heart, has claimed Amari as her sister, all these kinds of things, so I just know it's gonna be good. I watched her reactions live. I just need to know what is going on in this book. So I bought it right after Jaleesa finished reading the book, and I have been itching to read it and pick it up since it arrived at my house. In this book, we are following Amari, who is 12 years old, and her brother Quentin has been missing for a while now, and she has just never stopped believing that he went missing. She believes that she can find him. One day, Amari finds a ticking briefcase in her closet with a nomination for a summer tryout at the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. She soon believes that this is the key to finding her missing brother. So she goes along with it. She goes to this Bureau of Supernatural Affairs and participates in these games, even though she knows nothing about magic. She has no idea what she's doing. and she's being bullied and people are looking down upon her this whole time. But Amari is not going to give up until she finds out what happened to her brother Quentin. So I have another new release that I am going to be reading in February, and that is Wings of Ebony by JL, which I pre-ordered. There's her lovely signature right there. I don't know if it's because I ordered it early or what, but signed first edition, I'm here for it. And also, if you take off the dust jacket, that is a beautiful cover in itself with the name of the title on the spine and these wings here. I'm very excited to read this book. That's all I can say about this one. In this one, we are following Rue, who lives in Houston, and her family, her neighborhood, is her whole entire life. Until one day, all that is upended and the unthinkable happens. Rue's mom is murdered, and Rue is snatched away by a father she never knew, and now he is insisting and forcing Rue to live with him in Gizon, which is a secret country of powerful gods who wield special magic. And in Gizon, Rue's whole existence is a crime because she is the one and only half human, half god. Rue becomes miserable, desperate to see her sister and the rest of her family and friends. So on the anniversary of her mom's death, she breaks the one law of Gizon. She returns to Houston, where she discovers that Black kids are being forced into crime and violence. And her sister Tasha is in danger of falling sway to the same evil forces that claimed their mother's life. So Rue must embrace her true identity and wield all her powerful magic that she has to save her family, to save her neighborhood, and to save the world. The next book on my TBR has been on my TBR for a while now, and I just need to bite the bullet and read this book already. I'm taking way too long to get to this, and every time I look at this book, I'm super excited to read it. I just want to put down everything that I'm reading at the moment and pick it up, and I just have not yet. And that is going to be Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I have talked about this book multiple times on my channel already, but again, this is a retelling of King Arthur. In this one, we're following 16-year-old Bree, who has just lost her mother in a tragic accident. And so now Bree just wants nothing to do with anything. Bree is a very smart student and goes to college at 16 at UNC Chapel Hill, where she is hoping to start life over, until she witnesses a demon attack on campus the very first night that she is there, and soon discovers a society called Legendborn, which are full of people who can see and kill demons. Soon, Bree learns that there's way more to her mother's death than she originally thought, and so now she's going to tap into some of that power that has been inside of her this whole time. Soon, Bree learns about a magical war that is coming, and so it's up to her to see how far she'll tap into the truth, to use her magic to take down society, and ultimately figure out what happened to her mom. Now I'm going to talk about the books I'm going to read for our February 24-hour readathon. I'm going to try to change it up a little bit because I continuously fail readathons and I need to learn how to do better. So hopefully in February, I will read more than one book. So I'm hoping to read 3 books during the 24-hour readathon that we're doing in February. I believe it's on February 26th. The last weekend in February. And again, we'll have the Discord channel open that whole entire weekend. It's going to be a great time. So please join us for this month, especially if you weren't able to last month. But I do plan on reading 3 books. I don't know why I decided to read A Court of Mist and Fury, an over 600-page book, during our 24-hour readathon and expect me to read 1 or 2 more books after that as well. That just wasn't a good idea. So this time, I'm going to read shorter books. That makes a lot of sense, right? It really does. So the first book that I plan on reading is Truth or Dare by Danielle Allen, which is an ebook that I have on my Kindle. And it's super short. It's only like 168 pages. So I'll definitely be able to finish that book in a couple of hours. The synopsis of Truth or Dare reads, with all 9 of my best friends reunited for a destination wedding, I was not surprised someone suggested we play Truth or Dare. The secret exposing truths and the harmlessly fun dares bonded our close-knit friend group in college and kept us close throughout the years. So when Kingston Wright was dared to kiss me, I didn't think anything of it. Harmless kisses were always a part of Truth or Dare. But there was nothing harmless about that kiss. I felt something between us that I shouldn't have. Truth or Dare can be risky when you're 20, but when you're 30, it can be reckless. So it's a big game of Truth and Dare, and people are dared to kiss each other, and it's going to get spicy, it's going to get steamy. And I'm just excited to read that, and we'll definitely be able to get through it really quickly during a 24-hour readathon. The next book that I hope to get to during the 24-hour readathon is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, which is her first thriller book that she's written, because Alyssa Cole is mainly a romance author. And this one is marketed as Get Out meets Gentrification, which again, I've talked about this book before. That just sounds very interesting because I know a lot about gentrification and I love Get Out. So I'm definitely interested to see how, when those two are combined, how that's gonna go. And I think that the thriller genre is perfect for what this book is trying to talk about. I think it's going to have a powerful message. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read this book. And it's 350 pages. So again, a short book. And the font is not small at all. So definitely think I can whiz through this in a few sprints, in a few hours. Lastly, I got to throw in a fantasy book. So I picked a fantasy book that's kind of short and will still be considered a quick read so that I can finish all 3 of these books during the 24-hour readathon. And that book is going to be Cinderellas Dead by Kaylin Barron. Obviously, this is a Cinderella retelling, and this takes place 200 years after Cinderella has found her prince. And during these times, girls are required to show up at the annual ball where men of the kingdom are finding their wives at this ball, and if a girl is not chosen, they are never heard from again. Our main character here, Sophia, she is 16 years old and she would much rather marry her childhood friend than parade around for a bunch of men. So she tries to flee the ball when she runs into Constance, who is Cinderella's last known descendant. And together, Sophia and Constance vow to bring down the kingdom. Basically, this is a very feminist retelling of Cinderella, and I'm here for it. This book is also less than 400 pages. The font is super big, and it's a young adult book. So I think that I should be able to read this one quickly and get through it also during the 24-hour readathon. So those are all the books that I physically want to read in February. There's a lot of books on my list, but I did read 8 books in January. And I've been in such a reading mood this whole 2021 that I feel like I can read most of, if not all of the books that I have talked about on my TBR. But I also have a couple of audiobooks that I hope to listen to during this month as well, whether that's while I'm bullet journaling or while I'm driving to and from work. I have a lot of time to listen to audiobooks as well. So I'm currently listening to Blitzed by Alexa Martin, which is the 3rd book in the Playbook series. If you don't already know, I love that series so much, especially the first book, Intercepted. And if you haven't read that book, I would 100% recommend that book to you. It is a sports romance, a football romance, and in each book we follow a different female character. Side characters are all pretty much the same within the books, and the bar that they frequent and the same football team shows up in all 4 of the books, but we get a different story in every book, so you don't have to read them in order. You don't have to read all of them if you don't want to at all. There are 4 books in the series, and the 3rd book, Blitzed, which is what I'm reading, is the last book that I haven't read yet. So I'm excited to listen to that one and complete the series. 2 other audiobooks that I hope to get to in February are Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant, also The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. I've heard really good things about each and every one of those books. Happily Ever Afters is a new release. It was released in January. The Black Flamingo is written in verse and has LGBTQ rep, so I hope to get to all of those also in February. So that officially wraps up all the books that I want to read in February. I absolutely cannot add another book into this list because then I just definitely won't get to them all. Because remember, February is the shortest month in the year as well. So I already have up to 3 days less this month to read books. And as it's February 3rd right now, I haven't finished a book yet. So I need to get going on this long list of books that I have. Nevertheless, I'm excited to read each of these books on my list, and I will do my very best to get to all of them and provide my reviews, do reading vlogs, all this kind of content that I have planned in February. It's going to be a super fun month. My bullet journal February spread video is coming soon. But that's all from me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and turn on your notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you made it to the end of this video, please comment down below a brown heart for Black History Month so I know that you watched the video all the way through. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!